That helps a lot with adjusting like in mid-game.
Recruiting has been such an emphasis for Coach Clawson since he got there. As a senior now who's logged a lot of time at Wake Forest, how do you sell your school, your program to these new guys who are coming in on junior days, on visits and stuff? How do you do that?
I mean, I tell them about my experience. I mean, I've gotten the past 4 years that I've been at Wake Forest have been probably some of the 4 best years of my life. I've gotten a great education. I'm officially like a half a credit hour away from graduating, and I've gotten the full experience of it all. I've had one coaching staff, and I've had another coaching staff. I've seen both sides of it. I've been at the top of it. I've been a starter. I've been a bench player, and I've been through all the classes and the academics of it. And the experience is wonderful. And I just sell my experience, and then I sell the heights that we're taking with our facilities and what the investments that people are making in our program because they believe in us. And when I tell people about that, I feel like that it makes a difference in a kid's decision making, because it made a difference in mine when I was being recruited. I talked to some guys, and that's what they told me about that experience, and they were 100% correct.
A lot of players will say they had a wonderful experience in school, but it was also nothing they could have ever experienced, totally different than what they expected going into it. Would you say it's kind of been that way for you?
I mean, in ways it's been different, but I mean, in the actual like the long-term effect of it, it was what I kind of expected. It's what the guys that like I came in, like the seniors who were leaving, told me. Like the day that I got there, they told me like what their experience had been like, and it's been very similar, but it's also been very different in a way with the coaching change. That's been the biggest curveball that I got, was the coaching change, and that was the one thing that probably made the biggest difference for me in my experience.
Do you watch Game of Thrones?
I've gotten through episode 3. I haven't gotten all the way through though.
Has anybody ever told you look like somebody that could be on Game of Thrones?
I've heard that, yeah.
What's the inspiration for your look?
It's funny because when I was growing up, I had a buzz cut all through high school, everything. And I got to Wake, and I just had that, like, my dad is like, he's getting older, so he's losing all his hair, and then my brother had long hair, and my dad's like, you better be glad you can have hair, because you might not have it for much longer after your younger days.
I can relate.
So I just decided to grow it out. Like, I got like to the spring of my true freshman year, and I decided to grow it out, and I've trimmed it every now and then, but I've let it go since.
How do you get it cut? Do you go to somebody and ask them to take an inch off?
It's actually my wife. She has her hair. She has this hairstylist.
Well, it helps if it's your wife.
Yeah, she has a hairstylist that she goes to, and she only trusts to touch her hair. So she took me to her, and she's the only person who touches my hair. So I'll tell her, hey, take a little bit off, just an inch or so, to help it, because apparently it helps grow it. It helps it grow better and help grow healthier. I don't know as much about that, but I just know I got the hair. And
Sounds like you get good hair advice from a lot of different people. All right, so another question. What year? How old were you when you got married?
It was 2.5 months ago.
Wow, congratulations.
Appreciate that.
And how old are you?
I'm 22. I'll
Okay,
be 23
so somebody told you that grow hair now because there's a chance you may not have it later, but nobody told you to have fun and be single now because there's a chance you'll be married later?
I mean, I guess, but I know never said that, but I mean, I grew up with the love of my life, and it worked out that way. We've been together since our freshman year of high school, and everything worked out. We made it long distance in college, and at this point in time, we believe that that's the best part for our life.
That's awesome,
so,
man. Very cool.
It's awesome.
Say long distance. Where was she?
I mean, she's from my hometown, so Kingsport, Tennessee to Wake Forest. So it's 2.5 hour drive, and
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it's not as long distance as I know some people are, but I mean, I'd only see her once a month for 3 years, so it made a difference, and I think doing that made our relationship grow stronger to where marriage was that step that I wanted to take last year.
What's her name?
Kelsey.
Kelsey. Okay.
Yeah. Officially Kelsey Hayworth.
It's kind of cool to say.
It's really cool to say.
So what personal goals you have this season like?
My personal goals, I mean, I want to play great, and I want to play to a level that I know I can play at. But really my personal goals don't mean anything unless our team does well. Because the better our team goes, the more attention we're going to bring to Wake Forest, and then the more attention that comes back on me. So I just want our team. I want to win games, and I want I want to get like to a bowl game, get to the ACC championship game. I want to prove that. I want to do that for this team, and then all the individual stuff will come after that. We'll get the recognition. We'll get the scouts will come, like all that. Like right now, though, I'm focused on this team and winning a championship here.
So ain't nobody like on the defensive end like I gotta stop this person this week, or I'm not allowing a sack or anything.
I mean, that's a goal every single week. Not to give up a sack, stop this guy in front of me. I respect every single opponent that I go against every single week because they've worked just as hard as I've worked to get where I'm at to where they're at. And you know, at this point, I just want to just keep doing it every single day.
Somebody grew up in Tennessee. Did you cheer for one of the in-state schools growing up?
I was a diehard Vol fan until I was in high school.
Now that you're in college, and I'll tell the truth, I know that when you're not playing, do you still cheer for the Vols?
I don't cheer for the Vols specifically. I have teammates that I went to high school with that play for them, and I will cheer for them individually.
Okay.
I like to see them do well.
Who are those guys?
Malik Foreman, Devon Swafford, and Thomas Edwards. Devon Swafford, actually, he is no longer able to play because he suffered injury in the bowl game 2 years ago. But Malik Foreman he's a big contributor on their defense, and I like to see when he plays. And my other buddy Thomas Edwards, he plays offensive line over there, but he doesn't play very often. But I still love to see when they do well. And,
Sideline shot.
Yeah, I like to see those guys because they're good buddies I played with all growing up. So seeing them do well makes me happy. But for them as a team, I'm not cheering for Tennessee as a team. I cheer for those guys.
How much has marriage maybe changed your mentality during the off season, kind of heading into this?
It's been big. Like I really, it's because it's a whole new level. It's a whole nother level of commitment. And it just so happened that I got married like 2 weeks after I got voted captain, and by my teammates. And you know, it was like this whole span of just like you have to be committed. I have to be committed to my teammates. I have to be committed to my wife. And to take that on at one time is actually a really good thing because the transitional period of becoming a captain from just being a player on the team is a huge jump, and the same as from having a girlfriend to a wife. And I think that at the exact same time has helped me be a better person, a better man, and a better teammate and be a leader to my teammates as well.
How many of your teammates were there?
The entire offensive line and a couple tight ends.
Okay. Yeah. So the guys you share the entire line with, basically.
I invited, and because we had a smaller wedding, I'd love to be able to invite all of them there. But like I had 150 people at my wedding, and we have like 100 guys on the team. There's no way that I was going to be able to have all of them there. So I made the decision, like I invited the entire O-line, and then those guys brought, if they wanted to, the plus ones could be other teammates. So a couple other guys came with them. So that's how that worked out.
That was the bachelor party.
I mean, it was fun. It was good. Great time. Just hung out. We just hung out and just had a good time at the apartment. No big deal. It was a very down low thing. My brother was my best man, and he's very bad at planning. So there wasn't really much of a bachelor party. We just kind of hung out. It's just like my brother came into town, and like everyone just kind of came over. We had a good time. Played a lot of Xbox.
Nice.